Friday night means Gogglebox, your weekly download of all the telly updates you need from 9 o'clock tonight. But right now it's 7 o'clock and time for the Channel 4 News with Krishnan, Guru-Murthy and Ayshah Tull.
A missile strike on a Ukrainian cultural centre in the region of Kharkiv. Absolute evil, absolute stupidity, says President Zelensky. The last Ukrainian soldiers in Mariupol, ordered to save themselves, are taken prisoner by Russia and driven away. Good evening. Russia has intensified its attacks in the east of Ukraine. In the last few hours, President Zelensky released video of a missile strike on a newly renovated cultural centre in the region of Kharkiv. He says 7 people were injured, including a child. The Ukrainians had been retaking territory in the region this week, moving troops right up to the Russian border. Tonight, we report from the city of Kharkiv, where after 2 months living in underground stations, some people were just daring to come into the light.
Also tonight, 11 more cases of monkeypox have been confirmed in the UK. Globally, there's over 100 cases in 11 countries now, according to a professor tracking it all. So how worried should we be? A court ruled the University of Bristol discriminated against a student who ended up taking her own life. Natasha Abrahart, who was suffering from crippling anxiety, was found dead in her flat in 2018, the day before an exam.
The University of Bristol broke the law and exposed our daughter to months of wholly unnecessary psychological trauma.
The US president invokes emergency powers to speed up the production of baby milk amid supermarket panic buying.
Well, Russian troops have bombarded the eastern city of Severodonetsk today as part of a renewed push in Donbass. The Ukrainian President, Volodymyr Zelensky, said Russian invaders had completely destroyed the region and said it is now hell there. In Mariupol, more Ukrainian soldiers left the Azovstal steelworks as their commander confirmed his troops have been ordered to stop fighting. Porrick O'Brien is in Kharkiv for us now, where people have been sheltering for the best part of 3 months in underground stations. Porrick O'Brien in Kharkiv. Well, Finland's state energy company has said that Russia will cut off all natural gas supplies to Finland tomorrow. It comes just days after Finland applied to join NATO. But the move is largely symbolic, as natural gas accounts for less than 7% of Finnish energy consumption.
Now, 11 new cases of monkeypox have been confirmed in the UK. That means there are now 20 cases here. And today, France, Germany, Belgium and Australia confirmed their first cases too. While most are mild, the World Health Organization has expressed concerns that the number of people in Europe getting infected could go up as people gather for parties and festivals over the summer. And a warning, Simeon Brown's report starts with images of the disease. Now, the much-anticipated final report on parties in Downing Street looks likely to be published next week. Sue Gray, the government official leading the inquiry, has contacted senior civil servants who are expected to be named in her write-up. Our policy correspondent Paul McNamara is in Downing Street for us now. Paul. OK, Paul, thank you very much. More on Sue Gray's report, of course.
Well, let's return now to Ukraine, where Russia has been renewing its attacks in the east of the country and where the last Ukrainian fighters have been taken away by the Russians from the Mariupol steelworks. Joining me now is the Ukrainian MP, Lesia Vasilenko. What is the effect of seeing those images of those last Ukrainian fighters being driven away into Russian custody? Lesia Vasilenko, thank you very much indeed for joining us. Now, in the United States, Joe Biden has been criticised for failing to act sooner to address a critical shortage of baby formula that's left supermarket shelves empty and parents scrambling for products. What started as a supply chain problem was exacerbated by a major manufacturer announcing a recall after several babies fell ill. Our Washington correspondent, Siobhan Kennedy, has been to Maryland to visit one mother who's desperately searching for formula to feed her 5-month-old baby.
Siobhan Kennedy reporting. Now, it's one of the biggest investigations into allegations of police corruption, looking into the way officers responded to child sexual exploitation in Rotherham. There's already been criticism over how long the investigation has taken, and its report was due to be published later this month. But this programme can reveal there's been another delay. Our North of England correspondent Claire Fallon is in Rotherham for us now. Claire, what have you discovered? Alex Thompson reporting. And later in the programme, we'll be looking at how Australia's recent environmental disasters, from floods to wildfires and warming seas, are being dealt with during its federal election campaign. Krish.
Thanks, Ayshah. Now, when physics student Natasha Abrahart was unable to complete academic tasks because of her deteriorating mental health, she was given ever lower grades. Despite making staff at Bristol University aware of her crippling anxiety and suicidal thoughts, adjustments were not made to the way she was assessed, and she took her own life before an assessment in 2018. Her parents brought a claim against the university, and today a court awarded them damages in a case that will have implications for the way teaching institutions support people with mental health problems. Simon Israel reports. Well, I'm joined now by Lee Fryatt. His son Daniel took his own life while studying at Bath Spa University 3.5 years ago. He campaigns with Learn, a group of parents and siblings bereaved by suicide. Thank you for joining us. What does this case today tell us about the responsibility of universities for students who are suffering crippling mental health problems?
To university.
Mr. Fryatt, I'm sorry to end it there, but we're out of time. Thank you very much indeed for joining us tonight.
Thank you.
Now, the Crystal Palace manager, Patrick Vieira, has become the latest figure from English football to be involved in a fracas with a pitch-invading fan. He was filmed lashing out last night when jubilant Everton fans invaded the pitch after their club overturned a 2-0 deficit to ensure Premier League survival. The incident came at the end of a week of sometimes violent pitch invasions as the season reaches its climax. And as our sports reporter Jordan Jarrett Bryan reports, the incidents are raising fears of a return of hooliganism.
After the break, we look forward to tomorrow's close-running Australian election that could see controversial Conservative Scott Morrison kicked out of power.
Welcome back. Now, Australia is going to the polls after several once-in-a-generation climate disasters. From devastating bushfires to record floods, the country has borne the brunt of rising global temperatures. But the main parties have been unwilling to talk about the climate emergency during the campaign, with the Prime Minister pledging to keep coal-powered power stations open. And a warning, Danny Isdale's report contains images of animals in distress.
Danny Isdale reporting there. Well, that's all we have time for tonight. We're back at 6:15 tomorrow evening.
Until then, from all of us, that's Channel 4 News. Have a very good evening and a great weekend.
Bye-bye.
Steel cordless garden power tools, proud sponsors of Channel 4 Weather.